Hey everybody, this is Dustin, Derby Specialist. So today I'm looking at a 2020 Grand Design Reflection. That was the date that it was manufactured, but it's actually a 2021. And what I want to go over in this video is there's 12 areas on the frame that are cracked. And so some of the cracks are your normal cracks that we've been seeing in between the I-beams, and some of them due to tank brackets and whatnot that have been over welded or penetrated. But then also the major thing on this one is the owners, unknowing, they haven't had little to none inspection on the maintenance of the coach. So they haven't been coming in and doing wheel bearing packs. They haven't been doing frame inspections. They haven't been doing suspension inspections. And it's not a knock on them. This is just more of an educational. So if you own, and I don't care if it's, a Grand Design or not, it could be any brand that's out there. The units that are coming in, whether it be a Lippert frame or another manufacturer, they're subject to having damage. So on this particular unit, as I walk up here, what you're gonna see is there's 12 frame cracks. We have them all marked, and some of them were due to impact. So I'm gonna start with some of the impact stuff first and kind of paint the picture for you. So the customers hit the opposite jack, right, on the other side and replaced it. Well, when they hit that side, it caused a crack in the framework. And then here you can see the crack, which I'll go back to. Oops. Which I'll go back to here. So you can see that split in the I-beam, and it's also broke loose the bracket from underneath where it's welded and the side where it's welded, and then it's split, and then that spider cracked a bunch of different directions. So what happened with this is now, because the structure on the opposite side is weak and fatigued, it caused more pressure on this side and caused it to walk. So you can also see in the jack itself where it's bent a little bit right there at the bracket. So if you're coming in and out of driveways and you're making contact with the feet and dragging it, that is not good at all. This also can happen as well as if you're backing up too hard with the coach and you have the feet down and it's pushing it or pulling it. So as this crack, and again, this is number 4 on the driver's side, or we refer to as roadside. Then there's this huge one, and again, you can see daylight through it. And there's a crack going this way, there's a crack going this way, there's a crack going up here, there's a crack going here. If we were to clean off the paint, that could be in multiple different directions. So this is crack number 3. Here's crack number 2, and again, this is on an outrigger. Oops, sorry for the sunlight. And you can see where it's cracked, and it's cracked on the load, right? So people think, well, hey, I got a crack here, oh, it's bad metal or steel or whatnot. Well, on the other side of this beam, which is the underbelly is all down, the outriggers and cross beams that are inside there literally ripped away. So imagine this ripping away from the inside of the coach. So when you see cracks like this, it's from these I-beams doing this, and it could be from a sudden jerk, could be from a sudden drop, could be from overfilling the tanks. This particular crack, as you see, it's kind of like an L shape. This is from over penetration, and you can see the heat marks from when they, not the manufacturer, but when Lippert welded the brackets. Now, when they over weld them, and it's easy to do because you're not going to notice it at the time when you're doing it, and it's just metal, right? So when that got welded in place for whichever holding tank is underneath there, that caused that metal to become weak. So if they've traveled now with water in it and the tank's water's sloshing back and forth and doing this number, that's going to cause all that cracking to occur on that L-shaped bracket. As we go further down, here's another one that's pretty bad. This I-beam broke, and it is broken clear through on the driver's side, number 1. And as you can see the daylight as I move the camera up and down, it split and ripped the bottom of the eye clear back to about here. So that's super substantial. Now, you know, could this be fixed? It could, but the problem is the camber's now off on the frame. It's also, the frame is wavy, so we'll never get it corrected. This also throws off all the brackets. As you can see, the brackets are tweaked. That bracket is now tweaked inside as well. The holes, because again, lack of maintenance, right? I'm gonna stress this to you. You know, this hole versus this hole is much larger because the bushings were worn out on the suspension. And when the bushings get worn out on the suspension, you're not gonna see the movement in the bolt. So whether you have nylon bushings or bronze bushings, this one actually had a wet bolt kit, but it wasn't being maintained. So, you know, those bushings, depending on how much you travel, there's not really a set guide to say, hey Dustin, when should I change it? Or hey Lippert, you know, when should I change this stuff, right? It basically just depends on the road condition, the speed you're traveling, the bumps, the stops, the brakings, the hard accelerations, all that kind of fun stuff. So now in order to fix this, we would have to we'd have to relocate the pulley for the dump valves. We would have to extend this pipe all the way down in both directions, try to band-aid that. So there would be 4 plates put in place here to try to beef that up, cut off and replace the rear bract jacket on both sides, remove the jack and reinstall it, and hopefully this thing would hold up. At this point, both myself as a business owner and Grand Design and even Lippert have deemed this frame as a total loss. Now, the insurance company, you know, which we told the consumer, hey, turn this into your insurance. I'm gonna walk this way so I don't catch the license plate. The insurance company said, hey, you know, this is not done from one single impact, from one single incident. So, you know, and it's not. You know, what happened was they originally hit this jack back here and then they replaced it. So when they hit this jack and they bent it, whether you bend the foot, so hey, I just bent the foot in the shaft. Okay, well, all that stuff is connected, right? So they bent that, they replaced it themselves, but they didn't go have it inspected. So now this became weak. And then, you know, along with skidding of the feet, again, back and forth, that's putting undue torque and flex. Now, whether somebody hyperextends it or not, we don't know if it ever was that case, because, you know, if it got hyperextended this way, that may be why that one tore and split over there on that side. But here's the crack. So this is number 5 on the passenger side rear. And so as you can see, it actually tore it from the I-beam, cracked the tube, cracked the weld. On the backside and stuff, it's a lot worse as well. Then there's another crack here that's developing. Again, this is for the brackets for the tanks. So you can see the bracket there. That's the tube, that's the cross piece. Then here on the I-beam, again, this is walking because of the flex of the coach. So that's passenger side number 4. That's passenger side number 3. That's passenger side number 2. That's passenger side number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's some underneath here as well. So let's look underneath here at the tanks, right? This bracket that's basically, oh, sorry for my fingers. This bracket that's here, that's holding this tank, that's what's cracked here, and that big L shape on the opposite side. And then you see how this brace is, right? This brace is a round brace that has holes in it. That's just a cross support that goes all the way across. That brace, I don't know if I can get to it or not on this side. I can, I'll have to go back to the other side. It's completely where it's mounted to this surface is just torn away from the frame. So, you know, when you guys are, you know, being conscious when you guys are traveling, you know, if you've never been underneath a coach, right? Talk about tank heaters, right? Here's a tank heater. There's a tank heater over there, that gray piece. And those are just a 12 volt, you know, like a water heated pad. right? So those don't really totally heat the whole tank. You can also see too in the movement of the strap. So see this tank? You see where this tank is at with all this wiring and stuff here? Look at the mark where this tank has slid that way and been rubbing, right? So, and same thing here. You can see where the tank has been rubbing the plastic. So these tanks, you know, are like a balloon. And I know I'm going in 20 different directions, but I just wanted to catch it so I could show you. So again, here's where like the brackets and stuff are torn, you know, inside. It's a bad thing. This thing is basically total. Both of these beams would have to completely come off and be extended. All the holes on all the shackle links, you know, that hold the hangers are all worn out and shot. The metal up front's torn too. So I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to do a couple others. You can also see that this strap that's bolted on from here that's hanging, that strap was completely broken loose and hanging. So the bolt, you know, from vibration or shaking just broke off. Now, whether the tank was ever overfilled or not, I don't know. But they also had the gray pipe that ran across to connect to the other side over there. That pipe had broke loose off the main hanger and off the secondary hanger and was rubbing on the suspension, which wore a hole in it. So again, it takes time to do that. So it's again another thing of like not being checked out. So anyways, I'm gonna do some more videos. Try not to make this one too crazy long, but as you can see how all the wiring runs through here, I mean, it's not a Dustin way, but it's just manufactured. You know, they're trying to be quick and fast in production and get it done. So, but there's a lot of excess and stuff. There's a lot of hoses that float around. There's a lot of connectors. You can see all the dirt and water that have been getting in here over time. You can see like the excess glue and stuff that got on the valves. So I'm going to come back and do some more videos from underneath, but I just want you guys to be aware of, you know, a few things. Like I said, let me get out from underneath here. There's so much that can go wrong if you're not conscientious, right? So the takeaway on this is do your suspension constantly. If you're taking it to like a Les Schwab or like a tire shop or something like that, they are going to go in and they're going to do the wheel bearing pack and they're going to get the hell out of there, right? They're going to, you know, sell you some brakes and some tires and maybe some leaf springs, and that's it. They're not going to be equipped or want to, you know, do frame repairs, remove and replace hangers. You know, they're not going to be looking at jacks. They're not going to be looking at the underbelly material. There's so much stuff that they're not going to look at. So make sure that you're having somebody, you know, that has an RV shop. Even a dealership will say, right? They're not going to go through all this extra stuff, you know? So every time we do a wheel bearing pack, we're looking for a bunch of stuff besides just the normal, right? Can't tell if that's my batteries or if that's my water guy. Oh, it's my water guy. Cool. So anyways, stay tuned for more. And I'll get back underneath here and I'll do some more videos to help kind of educate you. We did take the fender skirts off because we're going in and out of that area so much we don't want to damage it. As you can see, all the axles are off the coach, which when we took this thing apart too, the axles, only 3 out of the 4 brakes were working. All the brakes are severely worn. Every single spring, the eye on the spring was opened up because of the bolts jumping around in it. All the bushings were shot, all the bolts were shot. You know, of course, it reflects it on the hangers are all wallered out too. So, all right, well, stay tuned for more. And I don't think we're going to fix this one. I think we're gonna end up putting it back together and they're gonna take it. So we're gonna have them sign some, you know, disclaimers and all that kind of fun stuff. But it's, you know, too much money to fix this. And so, you know, we originally contacted Grand Design and you know, they were going to participate in it, but now because of all the other stuff that we found, you know, it's not good. By the time they do all new suspension, all new brakes, all new hubs, all new bearings. You know, we get in there and have to take everything in there apart. The tanks have to come out. There's all kinds of stuff in there that has to come apart. The jacks have to come off. The plates have to come off. All 6 of the hangers have to be cut, you know, removed with the cross beam there. Things got to be altered. We would have to replace the long tube on both sides, weld all the, you know, 12 patches on the thing. Anywhere you weld on it, that area is going to be nice and hard, but now we're you know, subject to it weakening the other areas. So we don't want it to continue to fracture or actually, you know, break or whatever. So, okay, well, like I said, this Lady Grand Design Reflection, as far as like the damages, it's the frame's a total, you know. Coach is beautiful inside and out. We just put a new roof on it a while back, and because they hit a tree, we put a new solar panel on it, some other stuff. And so we just wish that when they originally hit that jack, that they would have had somebody inspect it. Then all these little cracks might not have happened, and all the suspension stuff might not have happened, which caused all those cracks to begin with. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and travel safe, you guys.